What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Blue Crew. This is Ball Hawk, the Fatima, the Farmers, and the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live, Coach Dan, by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
Well, greetings and salutations to you all. I am your Friday procrastinator, teller of the future. I am Damo Damas, and I'm here to tell you what will happen to the basketball of fate and the towel of destiny, the great excitement that surrounds the Lions of Detroit as they go into this weekend's matchup against the much declawed Jags from Jacksonville. The Lions will get up early. They will get up often, and they will record a 38-21 victory. Yes, they will extend their winning streak to yet another game and take another step towards the end zone, towards the Super Bowl, and correctly into the Hall of Wisdom and Faith. They will become one of the greatest teams of all time and considered epically legendary because of their performance. They will get not just one, not just two, not just three, not just four, but 5 sacks on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Wow, finally, we've all been looking at the basketball and praying, wondering when would rookie Terrion Arnold get his first career interception, and it will be this weekend. Also, Jared Goff will come through and bounce back to bounce many passes off the opposing defenders' heads and throw them into the end zone for not just one, not just two, but 3 touchdowns. Take this, book it, Dano. And yes, now let's get to the rest of the show. Mwah! Well, greetings and salutations, everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host once again, Dan Thornton, and I want to thank you all for joining us here today, Friday show edition of Lions Talk Live. And yes, we're going to break on down today's telling of the future, I guess you could say, if Dan O'Damas was talking to you about what's going to happen this weekend. We got a matchup. It's probably a favorable matchup for the Detroit Lions, but don't overlook the Jags. Let's not forget, they've lost a ton of close games. They probably should have beat the Green Bay Packers. They probably should have beat the Minnesota Vikings on top of other teams, but just, give us some local flavor and relevance. The Lions are going to have to play to win this game. I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they'll just destroy them. The Lions D, I think, has a pretty good matchup against the Jags offense, but that Jags defense, I know statistically they're not great, but I think a lot of that really does come down to the Jags offense consistently putting that poor defense in bad position after bad position after bad position. So take some of their stats with a grain of salt. They can get after the quarterback. They can play the run. Walker has been playing pretty well. Same with Allen for them, among other people. All right, before we get into the main topic of the day and breaking down this game, as you guys know, we're going through 5 headlines now, all that type of stuff. But real quick, if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. We are 6 subs away from hitting 10,900 and obviously 106 from hitting 11,000. So if you could be so kind, hit that subscribe button. Also, if you got a free second of time, reach on down, hit that thumbs up button, that like button. You guys probably know it helps the channel out a lot, like it does all YouTubers. Last but never least, if you are considering buying or selling property anywhere in the great state of Michigan, give me a call or shoot me a text. You see my number on the screen, 269-998-2384. Let's have a conversation. I've done the real estate for over 30 years. So if you're looking for somebody who's going to be able to help give you some wisdom, help you find some, government or even state or federal grant money for first-time home buyers, maybe the difference between the interest rate and a point. And yes, you really do need to know that, and don't let somebody scam you. So if you're looking for somebody who will help you out, save you some money, make the process easier, give me a call or shoot me a text. If you're outside of the state of Michigan, I can still help you out. Just got to do some things a little bit differently. All right, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get over to the first segment of the show. And as you guys know, it's 5 headlines now. And question for you guys. Why is it my hair is always messed up the day Dan O'Damas comes on air? Things to debate there. All right, 5 headlines now. All right, there's some sort of correlation between Dan O'Damas hopping on air and my hair, the hairdo of destiny being out of place. All right, Lions' late comeback will earn Jake Bates Special Teams Player of the Week award. Pro Football Talk, we get it. Second time this year, Jake the Hitman Bates has hit a game winner, and you know what? I think you can see more and more confidence coming out of his teammates, and more importantly, the man making the calls, whether or not to let him make these long kicks. That's MCDC himself, Dan Campbell. We get throughout much of Campbell's tenure as Detroit Lions head coach, he has not really enjoyed the idea of kicking 50-plus yard field goals. I think maybe he'd just rather go for it. He has enough faith in his offense. And to be fair, other than the NFC title game last year, that offense has rewarded that faith. But this past weekend, you saw MCDC kind of break character, break trend, let Bates go for the 58-yard field goal. And let's be honest, he misses that thing. The Texans probably win that game because they would have just phenomenal field position, probably would at least get 3 out of it. But Bates, kudos to him. This guy, hey, he ain't laying bricks. He's laying kicks, and he continues to ascend up the charts. All right, defense gets a shining moment as Detroit Lions climb uphill towards Super Bowl 59. Jeff Seidel with the Detroit Free Press on this one. So this story, basically, he breaks down, once upon a time, we get it. This team was all about the offense. The offense, was basically the engine carrying the rest of the train forward. I mean, however you want to analyze that one. But the offense was the dominant factor for the Detroit Lions. But not so much anymore. Even without Aiden Hutchinson, one of perhaps a generational few players that can say they are just a total impact player. Well, even without him, this defense is playing at a pretty dang good level. There's probably some level of debate. I would throw this at you, Duke Crew. Could you say Brian Branch's play is getting into at least the conversation where he potentially could be Defensive Player of the Year? I'd say at least at some degree, yes. I'm not going to say he's a number 1 or 2 or 3 candidate, but I'd say the way Brian Branch is playing, you could probably throw him in the top 10. So his development, Jack Campbell's development, Alex Anzalone's steady hand. DJ Reader doesn't get talked about enough. He gives that defensive line a lot of flexibility, what they can do and what they can't do. Aleem McNeil continues to improve. And you go through, Carlton Davis, Kirby Joseph, everybody else. The defense is legit. It's no longer just the offense in Detroit. You really do have to pay attention to the defense. And I do think the defense is going to show up big this weekend. Stay tuned to that for the main topic of the day. All right, a former Detroit Lions player is opening a sports bar downtown this week. And this is from MSN.com. So Drake Bell, if you guys remember him, I guess he's been, out of the Lions now 8 or 10 years, at least somewhere right around there. But he is opening up a cigar bar, sports bar, stuff like that in downtown Detroit. Kicks off or opens up today. So if you're in the area, you want to stop on down, might want to go check that one out. All right, let's get into the Lions versus Jags injury report. This is from yesterday, and let me pull this up on my screen. All right, so I can read it off to you guys. All right, going to the injury report. Let me scroll on down. Lions injuries. Emmanuel Mosley, he's not been activated yet, so he won't play, but he was a full participant. Ify Melifanu was limited yesterday. Apparently, he did something to his hand, one of his fingers. So limited, just trying to take care of him, etc. And my guess is with both of those two guys, and then Broderick Martin, I think there's a real possibility you see all 3 of them added to the active roster by the Thanksgiving Day game. So Lions could have potentially some difference makers coming in, maybe not playmakers, maybe not superstar players, but fresh legs hitting the field against the Bears when most of the players on the field for both teams are going to be a little bit weary. All right, going on from Broderick Martin to Carlton Davis, he was limited yesterday because of a hand injury. Word is, but not, I haven't have this confirmed, that there was a bit of a scuffle, I guess you could say, Wednesday in practice, and I don't know if Carlton Davis was involved or breaking up, but apparently he did something to his wrist in one of his hands. Hopefully he's okay. Malcolm Rodriguez was a full participant in practice yesterday. So you know what? If he's a full go yesterday and he is again today, he is probably playing this Sunday. So that's good news. Taylor Decker, this is probably the big one for most people. He was a full participant. So again, if he can do that yesterday and do it today, my guess is TD is out there playing Sunday. And I'm guessing that's going to be good for all Lions fans. They'll be happy about that. Sam I Am Laporta did not participate yesterday. It's my anticipation. There's nothing confirmed here, but my anticipation he will not play Sunday. The AC joint that he has kind of strained in his shoulder, I don't think it will really affect him in pass catching, but anytime there's run blocking or pass blocking, if he should be asked to participate in that, I'm guessing that would be a situation for him. So probably just let him rest this one out. Excuse me. So, all right. So Trevor Lawrence, my guess is he doesn't play this particular game. We'll wait and see. Josh Allen Hines, a shoulder injury as well. My guess is he does play, but we'll wait and find out. No official rulings as of yet. Blake Hazen, man, I'm messing that one up. Limited participation. So my guess is he's also a game time decision. As far as other people on the Jags, Cleveland, they're basically all their running backs are a little bit beat up at this point. So is what it is. We'll see what shakes out with all of them. But that's it for the injury report. Now let's go ahead and head on over to, let's see, one more, the 5 headlines now. How far can the winning streak go? New York Times. That's the big question if you're a Lions fan right now. You probably got to wonder if, just how far can the Lions winning streak go? Let's Scooby-Doo this for a second. Let's assume you can win this weekend. I think you got some chance against the Colts, and it will be a road game. But the Colts, I get they're going back to Anthony Richardson. I like Richardson. I also think he's not quite there yet. I think you can still catch him off guard with a lot of stuff. I really believe I'd get him as many reps as I can, and then really off season, you're gonna have to work on his pre and post game snap adjustments, etc. But I do believe that Anthony Richardson is going to be a favorable matchup for the Lions. So if you get that, this winning streak really starts going to another level. And then if you can get it against on Thanksgiving Day against the Chicago Bears, man, this winning streak could be through the roof. And hopefully Philadelphia, amongst other teams, start losing a few games so you can start really kind of distancing yourself from that number 1 seed. But I didn't watch the full game last night. I thought Philadelphia looks pretty good. I also like the Philadelphia wide receivers. I think they can cause us some problems, sort of like Tampa Bay did early in the year. But the Lions defense has come a long way since that game as well. All right, with all that out of the way, now let's get over to the main topic of the day in my best William Shatner voice. All right, main topic of the day. Let's break down this game for you guys. So you already gone through the injury report. Now let's just talk about some brass tacks here. Let's talk about the Lions offense versus the Jags D. If Taylor Decker's back and he's really, kind of recovered from that shoulder injury, I think the Lions have a pretty good matchup here because if you look at the second layer and the third layer of the Jags D, that's where I think the Lions can do a lot of damage to them. Now, the opposite side of that is the Jags defensive front four is pretty good. They can shut down the run and they can get after the quarterback. That's something that causes every offense issues if you force people to be one-dimensional, to be fair, like the Lions did last week against Houston. So I think the Lions are going to use a little bit more play-action pass. The thing that I do think we're all as Lions fans and Ben Johnson are going to pay attention to is it was clear, at least to me, my opinion only, last weekend, they just said, we don't care if you play action pass. We're going to trust everybody else is going to overshoot the gaps to stop the run. We're going to go for kill shots anytime Goff may or may not be doing play action pass, and it worked to their advantage. I thought it really took the Lions a little bit of time to adjust to that. Thankfully, they did in the second half, but I would anticipate you're going to see the Jags, Colts, Bears, your mom, my mom, everybody copy that going forward and just saying until you can show us that you can clearly get us out of doing so with the running game, short, quick pass game, we're going to keep doing that and say, hey, we can't just let you potentially play action passes to death. Because to be honest, for 2 months, that's what Goff and the offense had been doing to people. Now moving to the other side of that, like we were kind of talking about earlier, I think the Jags offense is in real trouble. All 3 of their starting running backs or primary running backs are beat up. They're limited. They're just not healthy. And their wide receiver core isn't the greatest. Plus, they've already gotten rid of or traded away some of their offensive line. Trevor Lawrence ain't playing this game, so it's nothing against Mac Jones. I like the guy. I also don't think he's the most accurate quarterback. I'm going to guess you're going to see another strong performance from the Detroit Lions defense, and potentially that can help fuel the offense. But now let's go over to some score predictions from different sources for you guys. All right, so I'm going to start off here with MSN and USA Today, break down some of their picks. Lions versus Jags. I'm not going to worry about the money line stuff because I can't make heads or tail of that jazz anyways. But Lorenzo Keys has the Lions winning 27-10. I'm down with that. Tyler Dragon has Lions 30, Jags 16. I would say that's about right. Richard Morton has Lions 35-9. I would take that all day. Not to be undone, though. I'm going to say a little bit of, come on down. Oh, gosh, the price is right. Jordan Mendoza says Lions 35 to Jags 7. I think all Lions fans would be okay with that. My personal pick here, I'm going to take the Lions to win it in probably a little bit more of a laugher. I'm going to say 44-17. I do think the Jags will get some scores, but I think it's going to be very reminiscent of the Titans game. And it's no disrespect to the other team. I just think at some point you have a hard time keeping up with the Lions offense. If the Lions offense can block, as I think they're going to have to make a bigger priority of keeping the Jags off golf. Last week, obviously, the first quarter couldn't have gone much worse for Detroit or that offensive line. After that point, I thought the Lions offensive line played much better. And conversely, what do you know? So did the Lions offense. So we'll see what happens there. All right, let's see. A couple other predictions I have here. This is from this is from, who is it from? NBC Sports. They're going to take the Lions too, and probably not a big surprise. I think most people are anticipating the Lions are going to win this one. They're going to take Lions to score. If I'm reading this right, they're going to take the Lions win by 27 points. So I'm guessing all Lions fans would be happy about that. Plus, when they break down all the different nuances of the game, Trevor Lawrence, would he make a big difference in this game? No, but do I think he'd make it a little bit more competitive? Yes, so go with that. All right, Duke Crew, we've got about 13 minutes to Kurt the Hitman Steele pops on, so let's get over to you guys, see what you guys have to say about this game. I guess the big question most of us are going to have to ask, if you're the Lions and you really feel like you can steamroll this team, and as a coach, I have a hard time ever saying that to my team. I just don't ever want to overlook anybody. I've said this for 30-plus years. I get more nervous as a coach in matchups like this than if I were to play the Kansas City Chiefs. Because to me, it's the fact that human nature sets in. You look at their record, you look at your record, you think that you should be able to win without much struggle. That's where I think people let up, and then when you let up, especially in a sport like football, that's where people get hurt. I would just say, man, if you can play, you're playing. If Sam Laporta, though, I get with the AC joint, and especially the second half of the season now here, maybe I'd rest him. As far as everybody else, man, it's every man up. You're a professional. Get on out there. If you can't walk, you can't talk, you can't chew bubblegum, then you can't play. But other than that, I'm probably putting guys out there. All right, Duke Crew, let me get to you. Let me scroll to the top of the screen. Un momento. I'm almost there. Working on it. I'm trying. I'm almost there. All right, here we go. Michael D, greetings, salutations, Coach and Duke Crew, exclamation points, Superdome, Super Bowl, One Pride, woo, woo, and good morning to you too, Michael. JDC, morning all, and back at you. Bo, good morning, Duke Crew, always great, always set great expectations, exclamation point. I see Super Bowl, woo! So here's a question for you guys from the comment section. How far do you realistically think this winning streak can get pushed to? If we win, which, I don't always like to say we are going to win, but if we win, we handle our own business. These next couple of games could be pretty dang enticing for us, I guess you should say. So let me know in the comments section, how far do you actually think this winning streak goes? Do you think we lose? And if we do lose before the playoffs, who do we lose to? Johnny, good morning to all my fellow Duke Crew maniacs, and back at you, Johnny. Jason, this is going to be a fantastic game. I can't wait to see Smith. Man, I think you're not alone. And yeah, I'll respond to your text after the show, man. Sorry, I had to get ready for this. I also can't wait to see the unveiling of the Tree of Destiny. Pre-recorded or live, Coach Dan? We got to do it live, I think, man. Superdome or bust. Yeah, we'll have to send you a link and have a live unveiling of the Tree of Destiny. Let's see, Silver Server, good morning, Coach. Just wanted to say happy birthday. Thanks, man. Thank you very much for that. Yesterday, it was Kirby's birthday. I did not know that. Tomorrow, it will be James Houston. Yeah, my birthday is tomorrow. So, hey, another reason why I like James Houston You know what? I actually didn't know tomorrow was his birthday. Looks like you're in good company. 100%. I'll take that, man, and thank you for that. Let's see, JDC, Tree of Destiny. I concur. Let's see, Bo. We have the seatbelt gang enforced no-fly zone. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think we're going to have a pretty good game out there. But again, offenses are probably going to need a little help. I'd like the Jags defense. Jameer, Grand Rising, everyone. I say I like it back at you. I say I like their defense, and we'll probably end up scoring like, I don't know, 400 yards and then, 40-some points. France, good day all. I am hoping we keep Laporta out this week. Let the guy heal up. Yeah, probably. I would think since he didn't practice yesterday or the Wednesday, he's probably not out there Sunday, but been wrong before. And again, Jameer, Grand Rising to you too. Hopefully you have a great day. I don't know if I said that. Matty B, sup, Duke Crew, ! Sup, Coach Dan, back at you. Let's get a few woos to get this show going. We're rocking and rolling. Just got 34-17 Lions War Sunday. Hey, just win, baby, and I'm happy. And good morning to you. Johnny L, Sonic and Knuckles, Thunder and Lightning. Sunday is going to be great. I hope so, man. I hope they both just have massive games. Dennis, good morning. Dan and Duke Crew, same to you. Johnny L, the Thunderdome will be rocking. It will be, man. That's one thing I do miss about the Silver Dome is for those old enough to remember, they did call it the Terra Dome, the Thunderdome. And yeah, that place could get real loud. You'd be surprised on a arena set up for, I remember what the seating capacity was, 80-some thousand, 90-some thousand, just how loud that place could get in there. And I can remember there was one game, I wasn't a reporter for it. I remember just watching it, and the Lions actually got flagged for the fans being too noisy. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, man. All right, Brent, good morning. Dan and Duke Crew, 9-1 incoming. Oh, yeah. Good morning to you, Brent. Hopefully it is a phenomenal day. Matt B, that's not good enough. I'll go with that. I need a Sheila for our record-breaking win. All right. You know what? Just for the record books, let's get a Sheila. 1, 2, 3. And there you go. Big Eddie, greetings, salutations, coach. I've got to say this. Some have come at you about clickbait titles. It happens, man. It happens. I mean, like I know I've said it before on the show, man. I've had I've been fortunate when I was a reporter. I had some real great editors, but Felix Reset at the Courier Leader in Paw, Michigan, it covered like in Van Buren County and other areas around there. He told me, man, if you can't write headlines, you don't have a future in press, just because you got to get people to want to buy that, newspaper or that magazine or whatever. So it happens. Anyways, but I haven't seen anything like what's going on at Woodward. I've lost all respect for them, unsubscribed from them. I guess I don't pay enough attention to Woodward to know anything. I mean, but the only thing I would say, and take this for what it's worth, like I said, you got to write headlines, and YouTube's no different than a newspaper or a magazine. You got to get people to want to watch the story. And I don't know what you're referencing, but I'll just say, without knowing the story, maybe just take a deep breath and say, hey, maybe they weren't trying to do anything egregious. They're just trying to sell a story, which at the end of the day, that is part of the newspaper industry. Robert, greetings, salutations, back at you. Silver Server, agreed, France, let Wright go and pull Michael's behind back in the field. All right, I'm down with that. That could be one way to do it. Berg time, good morning, Dan. Thanks for everything you do! ! And I see what you did there with the do. Looking forward to this game, flying in tonight. That's right, man. You did say you were coming into this one. Hey, man, enjoy it. I hope we have a great time there, man. I actually thought about trying to get over there, but Jen, for my birthday, is taking me to Chicago tomorrow for the Blue Man group or something like that, and then some food. So, yeah, we wouldn't be coming back. Like, I'll try to have the live and everything for you guys, but I also know that we're probably not getting back from Chicago to here until around noon, so I'm going to have to hustle just to make the live show. I don't think there's any way we can make it over to Detroit in that time, not unless I want to just catch the fourth quarter there. Let's see, Johnny L, Big Eddie, what happened? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Lions Talk Live fan, I almost feel sorry for Jax. Hey, man, I'll feel sorry for him after the game, man. Pat him on the back. Great effort, man. You guys, the future's bright. Do that kind of stuff, but I ain't feeling anything for him until after the game. Trey, what's good today, everybody? Question mark. I think you're right, France. Get some of the guys right. Let them rest. Yeah, I think with Laporta, they probably will. Decker, I guess it just comes down to, basically what's the best medical decision for him going forward. Does he need to sit out a second straight game? If so, then let them do it. If that's what the staff says, then hey, let them rest up because obviously we need them for the home stretch of the season plus the postseason. Rich, I heard there's going to be a cat fight at Ford Field on Sunday. Good thing our cat is tougher than their cat. Hey, I'm down with that. Lions 42, Jags 6. Woo! And man, I would take that in a heartbeat, man. If it could be like, I don't know, how about at the end of the first quarter, let's go 24-0. If we could do that, then yeah, I'm guessing all Lions fans are going to be pretty happy. Let's see. Silver Server, I'd like to see our real uniforms. So tired of those single color uniforms. I kind of miss the 1920s throwback ones. Those have always been my personal favorites. Matty B, well, we got Lions Talk Live. We don't need Woodward. I will say that you should support Derek, Lions Syndicate, and Crunch Time Sports for channels just like this one. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good reporters out there, and I don't personally know, other than I guess you could say Easy at Woodward. He's the only one I've actually really ever talked to, and well, Spencer too, a little bit. I think they're all just out there working hard, man, and it's so tough in this industry or any industry where you're trying to make so many people happy. I guess this is what I should say. Realistically, when you put out a video, and I'm just talking from my experience, or a news story or whatever, some people are going to be triggered by it. Some people aren't going to like it. So I don't know the situation that's got everybody up in arms, but I'll just say this. I don't think it's done with ill intent. At least I'm assuming it's not. I think it's just people just trying to do their jobs. You can't make everybody happy. I know when I come on the air and I report stories, I just try to do it to the best of my ability. I'm not trying to be fraudulent or anything. I just try to get the story out there. And hopefully at the end of the day, that's good enough for some people, but I know I'm not going to make everybody happy. I try what I can to do. So, all right, Big Eddie, Johnny L, they keep rating potatoes with injury far worse than we knew about Laporta and other players. They've gone downhill for a while. That's why I just finally nailed. Okay, well, I mean, again, can't make everybody happy, man. So all I would say is find the stuff. Like I've had some people, you guys are probably aware, post some not so great things on my videos. The only thing I try to respond to people is, hey, if this doesn't work for you, I hope you find something that does. Because, at the end of the day, I'm just trying to make everybody, keep them informed and put out some fun stuff. But I can't make everybody happy. So find the ones that work for you. All right, Brent, Coach Flip interview with when he basically said that PFF and DVOA metrics were useless. Yeah, I would say most coaches don't pay a whole lot of attention to that stuff. Go with what you got on them. Maybe you can use them for some things, but if it doesn't fit your narrative, then just go and find what works for you, man. And I agree with you on that, Brent. Let's see, Jason, the Jags have lost 5 games by 5 points or less. Think about that. We cannot sleep on this team. No, I agree, man. Like we were saying earlier, they really should have won last week, and they really should have won against Green Bay. Unfortunately, they didn't. Okay, so I think Lions fans would have been happy with it. But, to be honest, they win those 2 games. They're in the playoff hunt in their division, etc. But they didn't. And a lot of things in the NFL, a lot of things in life come down to inches. Let's see, Troy, Big Eddie. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people calling them out on that. Okay, fair enough. Benny B, oh no, I said it yesterday. Jags lost a lot, but they don't lose by a lot either. Correct. They've got a lot of losses, but they keep the games tight. 70, we want the top spot in the NFC. We can't overlook any game, Jason Berry. I concur with that. Now, that's some real coach speak there. Berg time. Exactly, Jason. Jags are better than their record. I would agree with that. I would. Johnny L, Jason Berry, the Lions never sleep. Let's hope not. Bo Flip said, keep your stuff right down the middle. Yes, kick them straight down the middle. Jesse, greetings, salutations all. Play everybody. Don't overlook anyone. Get that big lead and then rest some guys. That is some way coaches look at it. I need you to go out there and play for a little bit. Let's get that big lead, and now I can give you, half the game off or whatever. Johnny L. Lions. Hey, let's go Lions. Maybe Jesse Lynn, the way they are playing. They are like the Bears, dangerous but beatable. Okay, I'll go with that. Susan, good morning. Duke Crew and Coach Woodward is terrible. All right, fair enough. Let's see. Sussman, good morning. Just win and handle the injuries as they come. Some will play through them. Others have to miss a game. Laporta won't play Sunday, I think. Yeah, I agree with you. I think if there's one line I would say probably isn't playing, it is, in my anticipation, probably going to be him. Coach Rock, good morning, all. Let's break that record. Woo! Yeah, and that's something that it probably isn't a huge thing to you or me or whoever, but the guys on the team, that is a badge of honor because, realistically, that record's going to stick around for a while. I mean, the current record's been around for, 50, 60, 70 years or whatever. So the chances of somebody easily breaking that record, the odds are against it. And again, if they can win this Sunday, next Sunday, and then, the foreseeable future, you keep pushing that, into folklore. People are going to look back 50, 60, 70, 100 years from now at that winning streak and go, man, that team just must have been awesome. And as we get older, a lot of people do try to gravitate towards stuff like that. All right, one or two, and then we got our special guest of the day. Lions Talk Live fam, Z is ready to prove to the world why Detroit made the right move. I agree with that. I really like the guy. Man, to me, I haven't heard a lot of people talking about Philly. They are really dangerous, and we need to be comparing our players to theirs. I think right now, if you had asked me who we're facing in the playoffs, that's probably going to be a big threat. It's probably Philly. And my anticipation is it'd be Detroit versus Philly in the NFC title game. But it would be in Detroit. So, all right, guys, it is about that time to bring forth the rhythm and the rhyme and our special guest of the day. You know him. You love him. He is the host of the Boss Up, Ball Out podcast. And yes, it is true. He is getting his own gold statue in front of Ford Field, probably with his chin up in the air, looking upright very stoically. Let's bring on Kurt Steele. Are you ready for that statue reveal?
Man, I don't know what you're talking about. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No worries, my friend. No worries. All right, so we got a bit of a matchup. Let's start about it this weekend. The Jags have lost a lot of close games, and if they win just half the games they've lost by a few points, they're in the playoff contention. If you're MCDC, Aaron Glenn, Ben Johnson, how concerned are you about this matchup?
Oh, this is a trap game, man. I'll say this. The Lions just need to be who they are. They need to play their game, and it shouldn't be an issue. Kind of like the same thing for a few weeks ago with the Titans. You just kind of like just be yourself, play your game, and everything will be fine. You don't take them you don't take this team lightly. You don't take it for granted that you're going to win just because of the fact that you're a favorite by so many. I think I posted it in the LNU chat the other day. The Lions are minus 1,000 on the money line. That means just to win $100 on this game and you bet on the Lions, you got to bet $1,000 just to win 100. That's how big of a favorite that they are in this game. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, I don't think I've ever seen that in an NFL game where you're minus 1,000. Like, that's something crazy. But you can't take any team in the NFL likely. So, and right. Dan Campbell is one of those guys, and his coaching staff are those guys. Like, even the leadership on the team are those guys that won't take any team lightly and will compete at the highest level. They're gonna give the Jags their best game because the Jags are gonna give them their best game.
I'll go with that. So real quick, before we go on to something else, just because I don't know jack about sports betting or anything like that. But do people actually bet like that? Where I'm going to put down 1,000 just to win 100? That doesn't seem like sound betting.
It's nothing. Like, just if you're a homer, you would do that. But they would most likely take Jacksonville, right? Because they're a plus 600. So if they do a straight up bet, not taking the points, if you bet $100 on the Jags and they win this game, you'll get 600 back, which is for a total of 700. Okay. So I mean, the Lions are a 14-point favorite. So if you're taking the points, and you can win a lot more if you take the points and you cover, because the points are if you're taking the points, it's minus 105. So you'll get at least it's still kind of weird, but this game is set up for the Lions to win. It's back at home. It's at Ford Field. Crowd's going to be bananas because they haven't seen the team in a few weeks. And the matchup, you got Mac Jones starting because they've already ruled out Trevor Lawrence.
Right.
This game is it's set up for the Lions to win. They just have to go out and execute. That's what they got to do.
So let's talk real quick about the Jags D, because at least in my opinion, that's where if your Lions are going to get any kind of resistance, it's probably from the Jags defense. What do you think are really the strengths of their defense?
Oh, it's got to be their pass rush.
Yeah,
it's their pass rush. With Josh Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker, that's the strength of their defense, because their linebackers aren't great and the secondary is suspect. So It's their pass rush. That's their thing. You have to keep your quarterback clean playing against those guys. And with Taylor Decker back, and he's a full participant now. He was yesterday, and having him and Sewell back on those bookends, I think we should be all right with on Sunday.
Do you think, if let's assume that the Lions can get out to some kind of lead, comfortable lead, do you think there's some opportunity for some more Ben Johnson trickeration to try to force, say, the Colts or the Bears into practicing for gadget plays that potentially we're not going to use?
Oh, yeah, excellent. Yeah, it's an excellent chance. I think that you might see one or two of those during this game. I just kind of have a feeling that, it's going to be one of those games where they can put out some rabbit out of the hat and do some trick plays. Because we didn't see any last week because we couldn't. We was too far down all game. So you had to play it straight up. But the Lions playing straight up against anybody is a plus, and especially on offense. But I mean, it's a luxury, when you can get out to that lead and you can pull some things out of the rabbit out of the hats, and kind of. I mean, but like you look at that game we had in Arizona, that game was kind of close when we had that trick play, that hook and ladder down there on the goal line. So you just got to be prepared for any time, any place with the Lions.
So let's talk about this also. If I'm the Lions, the second half of the season's now here. What are you doing to maybe try to further improve this offense? Because it's been pretty dang good, especially as of late. But is there anything, if you're Ben Johnson, you're like, man, I really got to work on this. I got to get this guy going or that guy going. Let me know your thoughts.
I actually believe you got to just keep being who you are. Keep spreading the ball around. And they talked about it on the telecast. Well, the offense is not going to get going until we get St. Brown going, or we get the running game going, or David Montgomery. But it was more than just David Montgomery, and then more was just Jameer than St. Brown. I mean, it was Jameer Gibbs. It was Jameson Williams making some key catches over the middle. I mean, Sam Laporta has some big plays. So, that last comment to the last comment. Absolutely not, Detroit D. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Your tight end won't give us no fits at all. No, they will not. No.
All right, we got breaking news. Kurt Steele is proclaimed that their tight end's not going to be a no-show. All right, fair enough.
Nope.
So let's talk about. Here's a question for you, man. At the start of the year, and when Aiden Hutchinson was playing, there was a lot of chat that he was going to be Defensive Player of the Year, and probably justifiably so. He was playing just through the roof. But now that he's been gone, we've seen other players kind of emerge from this Detroit Lions defense. Right. Do you think it's possible, Brian Branch? I don't think he's going to win it, but do you think he could be in the conversation for it?
Absolutely. The way he's playing, he's playing out of this world. I mean, if not Defensive Player of the Year, first team All-Pro. I mean, you're looking at that. I mean, to be honest with you, is there another player they're talking about right now for Defensive Player of the Year, and they're around the league? I'm not hearing a lot of noise about anybody else but him right now. I mean, but of course, my ear is tuned to the Detroit Lions, of course, but
right.
I'm not hearing like a lot of chatter. I think the only guy for me that's kind of having a good year, but he's on a bad team is Trey Hendrickson, the guy we were trying to get. He's already got like 11.5 sacks. So,
right.
So he's picked up his production, but he's just on a team that's just not winning right now. Now, don't get me wrong, the Bengals are playing good, but what do you call it? They're one of those guys, they get in the shootouts. So
right.
Like, they're not stopping anybody, and they're not letting anybody not really stopping them. So it's like whoever's holding the ball last. And you look at those two games they played against the Ravens. It was like the last person with the ball won the game, and
right.
You can't win a championship like that. It's just not viable.
Yeah, isn't it something that Trey Hendrickson's got all those sacks and they can't stop anybody?
Yeah, true.
All right, so let's move on. Let's keep talking about the defense. We've got potentially 3 impact players, at least to some degree, whether you want to say from a depth standpoint, maybe 1 or 2 of them could potentially start. But what do you think this defense becomes when if he returns, Mosley returns, and Broderick Martin returns.
This is a good depth. You know what I'm saying? You there is less drop off when you have those guys come in and be on the active roster. So if they come in and somebody needs a break or just a rotation, especially with a guy like Martin, I want to see his development from year 1 or year 2. I see all the weight he lost and restructuring his body, and with the tutelage of Terrell Williams, I want to see what he's bringing to the table this year. I don't have any problems with Iffy. I know what Iffy is, what Iffy can bring, man. He's big, strong, fast, good blitzer from the safety position or DB. He can play any position in the secondary. Really, he can play corner, he can play safety, he can play nickel, whatever. The only person I really, we haven't seen do anything in Detroit is Emmanuel Mosley. We know what he did in San Francisco, but we haven't seen his productivity in the Lions uniform. So that's the only guy that would like. But would I take him over the other backup guys we have right now? Absolutely. I'll take him over Kendall Vendor. I would take him over Khalil Dorsey, even over Ennis Rakestraw right now. Just, because Rakestraw's not seasoned enough. He needs to get a little bit more under his belt. Reason he dropped to the second round, but I like I like the potential and the upside of Rakestraw. So
right, absolutely.
I like the veteran presence of a Mosley.
Okay. We're halfway through the season, so let me ask you, if you had to pick maybe your biggest unsung hero, most improved player, whatever you want to call it, from offense to defense, who would they be?
On defense, my most improved got to be Levi Onwuzurike, man. I didn't think this kid was going to be on the roster, and he's been a headache for a few games. I mean, it's not just like what shows up on a stat sheet, pressures and things of that nature, getting in the backfield, causing some play. He was in the backfield a lot in Houston, what I'm saying? He may not got the stats to back it up, but he was there and he was causing havoc and he was pushing the pocket on CJ Stroud. And then on offense, most improved gotta be JMO, man. JMO's the most improved. I mean, even with the suspension, you look at what he. And the thing is, people were like, "Oh, he didn't have a lot of yards last game," but he made some key catches and some key points of the game, and double catching the ball. I mean, making sure he's concentration and took some big hits from the Texans defensive backs, and he held tight. So that's my guy right there.
Yeah, the one where he got sandwiched on that, I want to say that third down catch. Yeah, that was a legit couple of hits, man.
I was like, whoa, that's tight.
All right. So, me trying to be positive, Pete, or whatever you want to say here. There was some talk, up until last week about Goff being an MVP conversation type candidate. In your opinion, do you think maybe it's almost a good thing that he had the 5 interception game because now, there's no distraction late in the year. Hey, he's going for it. He's in the running. You got to, try to do this or that to maintain that. You think now you can just play free now?
Yeah, you look at it like he had something similar happened last year where he kind of had that string of games and then he had had a fall off game. And I'm like, things just happen. But my thing is, unlike last year, I think the Dallas game where he threw a couple picks and the Lions ended up losing, we know the debacle what happened in Dallas. But he stayed. To me, it makes his case for me. It makes a case for him to be even more of an MVP because of the fact that he was able to stand pat and he led the Lions on that winning drive. He was 7 of 9 in that fourth quarter. I mean, you look at it. I mean, he stayed the course. He didn't get rattled, and it was just one of those things where he went out and played his game, and the Lions won. So you look at what he is and what he. And if he can rattle off another, 6-7 game stretch where he's doing what he did before last game, I think that puts him right back into the MVP conversation.
All right. 1 or 2 more questions. I know you got to get on out of here, but Terrion Arnold, he's really the only rookie that's playing significant snaps for the Lions this year. That's probably a sign that, hey, this team has really come a long way in 4 years. But over the course of halfway through his season now, what do you see from the kid? What are the pluses? What are the minuses? What do the Lions still need to work on with him before the postseason?
He's got to get his head turned around. I think that's the biggest thing for me. You got to get his head turned around. You know what I'm saying? and you have to keep his hands, keep your hands to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Play the ball, play the receiver's hands, not his body. You know what I'm saying? You can if you can see when play the receiver when he goes to reach up to catch the ball, you play his hands. The ball's going to be there, but don't do it early. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure you work on your timing. I think he'll be fine. And he is not the rookie only playing substantial snaps on the Lions. We have a kicker that's a rookie and he's doing his thing. Sorry. Yeah. And he, to me, we did our season awards the other day, mid-season awards, and he was my rookie of the year was Jake Bates.
Okay. I'm down with that.
2-time special teams player of the week for the NFC.
You think he kicked those field goals last week intentionally to make him that close, or do you think he's just playing to the crowd?
Man,
it's like, watch this.
No. He did the best he could. He made him.
Right. All right. So one last question here. Going forward with this weekend's game, if you're the Lions, do you sit anybody out this game just to help them heal up and get healthy, or do you just say, nah, it's all hands on deck, we're playing. If you can walk, you can talk, you're out on the field?
Only person I'm sitting is Sandler Porter because he can't play right now. That's it. Everybody else, if you strap it up, you're going.
Fair enough, man. All right. Why don't you go ahead and give yourself a bit of a shout out to everybody where they can find your great content and everything, all your coverage of the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, you definitely can check me out or the Boss Up Ball Out podcast over on YouTube. You can check me out definitely on Twitter at Curtis Steele, at Kurt Steele 14, or Curtis Steele 14. I'm sorry, and you can check me out at kurtsteele.com. Man, you can check me out over there. And for those migrating over to Blue Sky, the new app over there that kind of like mirrors kind of X, I'm over there too. So you can check me out over there on the Blue Sky social network.
Blue Sky. I did not know about that one. I'll check it out. So thanks for the heads up. All right. He is the host of the Boss Up Ball Out podcast. He is the man of steel himself, Kurt Steele. Go check him out. Give him a thumbs up. Give him a subscribe. Go, support his content.
Yeah. See you live at 8:00. We're live today at 8:00. So make sure you tune in. We give it our keys to victory versus the Jacksonville Jaguars.
We'll see you over there, my friend.
And you never know. I might have a special guest lined up today too. So we'll see you guys over there. See you soon.
We'll see you soon. All right, let's go ahead and get back over to the Duke Crew, see what you guys have to say. Hey, Dimitri, Dan, happy birthday, bro. Enjoy. I will, man. We'll see what Jen is going to put me through as far as torture. Let's see. Richard Woodward is unwatchable. I haven't watched him in a bit, so I know just some of the content creators over there. They all seem like good people, so hopefully they can make better content that everybody will enjoy. Richard, happy birthday, Dan. Thank you for that very much. JDC coach, enjoy the Hallelujah Blue Man group. I didn't even think about that. Maybe that's why Jen picked them. Lions, blue. I got you. Ken, happy birthday, Dan. Thank you very much, man. Well, thank you. Never would have guessed I would have made it this far, but hey, I'm still here. Rob, know the numbers, but go with your gut. I'm down with that. Jim Leland, yeah, probably 100%. At the end of the day, as a coach, you got most, probably make it because they're instincts for key situations. You can all know the numbers, you can know the analytics and everything, but if you don't feel it, you don't do it. At least that's what I would say. Johnny L, how old are you going to be? Yes, indeed. I'll just go with that, man. I'm in getting closer to my mid-50s. How about that? Fred, good morning, coach and Duke crew. Woo! And back at you, Fred. Hopefully it's a good one. JDC, Johnny L, he's going to be older than dirt. That is correct, man. I am getting up there. The Trim Reaper, still seeing Stephanie beating down Dr. Broski Bear in a skirt would be hilarious. Oh, yeah. Hey, Broski, he's great. Wish him nothing but best in life, but, man, he ain't hanging out in here anymore. Dimitri, here is your cake, Dan. Cheers to you. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much indeed. Real quick story, since I know she can hear me. Jen messed up. She couldn't even remember which birthday this was for me. She put in a group text and had the wrong year for it. So it happens. I'm just busting her chops a little bit. Let's see, Johnny. Let's see, JDC laughing out loud. There you go. JDC, the Trim Reaper, the smiling thumbs up. The Trim Reaper, JDC laughing. All right. Brent, what up, Doe? Question mark. Kurt, the man of steel, 100%, man. Great dude indeed. Bo, a Doe statue. There we go. But it'd be infamous Doe, steel Doe, I guess. Al, don't like steel. Tries too hard to act cool, and he is. I like Al. But hey, go with what works for you, man. Go with what works for you. Dennis, what up, though, Kurt? There you go. JDC, as the thong of Lions fans chant Kurt, Kurt, Kurt. There we go. There we go. Let's see, one pride. Yo, sweet hat, Kurt. Indeed, it was. King, the SJ, what do you got? What's up with the Man of Steel? You know, it's always a good day with the Man of Steel. Joseph, taking bets? No thanks. Yes, I don't do bets too much. Let's see, anyways, Rob, people tend to beat the spread in the us, but yes, betting the money line, you have to, quote, lay odds to be the favorite. All right, fair enough. Phil, good morning, and back at you. Fred, Mac Jones is quarterback this game. In your opinion, Vikings struggled last week. After the game we just had, Mac is going to struggle because we are going to come out aggressive and hungry for vengeance. I would agree. I think if I'm, who knows, we'll find out game time. But if I'm Aaron Glenn, I'm probably unleashing the beast or the fury, whatever you want to say, on Mac Jones. Yes, he'll have had a couple weeks to kind of familiarize him stuff with things. But looking at his weaknesses and his strengths, I would basically slant everything inside. He's got to throw deep and outside routes only. And I would get after him. He's not the most mobile quarterback. I would blitz heavy and a lot and overplay, like I said, the hash marks. Keep everything inside. If he can beat us outside, then he's going to get some shots. All right, Rob, I don't bet myself. Odd makers make their living by knowing more than the fish. I would agree with that, 1,000%. That's why all those casinos get built. Betting on the dark side. Lay your money down. Don't pass, okay? Joseph, betting makes it gross. When New York kicked Branch out of the game, all I thought was all the money in the game. Yeah, and I'm guessing you're probably not the only one who had that thought there, Joseph. Fred, good morning, Joseph, and back at you both. Brent, what uniforms are we wearing this weekend? That I don't know. Maybe somebody can help us out in the comment section. Joseph, hello, Fred. Rob, all right, here we go. All European sports are money lines last I checked, okay? Dimitri L. Johnson, you sound weak, okay? Let's see, Mouseberger, blind side. Yeah, protect the blind side. Mouseberger, blind down the blind side. All right, we'll keep them blind. Dimitri, good morning from Texas, and back at you. Hopefully it's a great morning. Let's see, Mouseberger, I agree about Iffy. He can play around the grid. Yeah, he's so versatile. I know we've talked about before, but he can play safety, clearly, play cornerback, clearly, and weak side backer on the right situations. Plus, we all get it. He can pick the ball. He can blitz the quarterback. He can shoot the gaps in the run. He is pretty versatile. Phil, I love the Duke Crew guitar, by the way. Wish we could have had a Lions Talk Live picnic or something. Maybe we can, man, at some point, hopefully. Let's see, Johnny L. Now you're talking, Phil. There you go. Sarge, Eagles in the playoffs could be a problem for the Lions. They look good last night. They do, man. They've got some nice weapons. They've got some nice developing talent, too. Miles Barker, James Allen, thanks. Done now. Fair enough. Phil, gambling is foolish. All right. Joseph, MVP is a stat award. It probably to a certain degree, yeah. Broski's, I'd like to apologize for my son's behavior. That's awesome, man. That's real awesome. Phil, birthday greetings. Thank you for that. Lions O, thumbs up. Miles Barker, thank you, Kurt. Great channel. Yes, indeed. Well, happy birthday, Dan. Thank you for that. 52 and 53 are here. Let's see. Brent, salute Kurt. There we go. Carrie, happy birthday, Dan. Thank you very much for that. The 53rd trip around the planet, I guess you could say. Phil, Coach Dan is the ageless one. Hey, behold the power of Mountain Dew, my friend. Let's see. Kim, happy birthday, Coach Dan. Like fine wine, improving with age. Hey, not getting taller, but I'm trying, man. I'm still waiting for that growth spurt. Dimitri, I'll stop with that stuff. Okay, yeah, we aren't from Flint. We've born in traffic. All right, we've been in traffic. All right. Great Lakes, good morning, Coach. Happy birthday! Exclamation point. I sent you a text yesterday. Let me know. Yeah, I got to respond to that. So thank you for that, by the way. I got to respond. Yeah, I got to hit the respond. All right, Phil. Lions have to keep playing those weak teams. They may not be as sharp as we want. Hey, it happens. I mean, you can only play the people on top of your schedule, but let's also remember in the going down the stretch, we've got the 49ers, we got Minnesota, we got the Bills. So there will be some good games down the stretch for sure. Mr. Morrell, a fellow Scorpio. Yes, indeed. A happy birthday, Coach. Thank you for that. Please, no more Broski talk, please. If he's gone, let him be gone, Duke Crew. Yes, I'm guessing another day or two, everybody gone until we play probably the Chicago Bears because everybody knows he's a Bears fan. They will probably reinvigorate for a little bit. Great Lakes Jaguars held the Vikings to 12 points? ? We need to get ahead early and pour it on. Agreed with that. Some of that is, hey, the Vikings quarterback Darnold just He threw, 3 picks in the end zone? Other than that, it probably wouldn't have been a game. J-Mo, what do you got? Good morning, Duke crew and coach. Thank you for that. Good to see you, man. It feels like it's been a hot minute since I've seen you. Greg King, bring back Night Train Lane. That would be great, man. He was a great one. Eric, happy birthday, my boy. Wish you many more. I'm hoping for at least a few more, my friend. And thanks for that, Eric. Let's see, Rob, happy birthday. You're still young, 54 here. I'm catching up to you, man. One step at a time. Let's see, Bo, happy birthday, Dan, and happy trails, Duke crew. All done and dusted for another day. See you soon. We'll see you on the next Lions Talk, my friend. Have a great day. Trem Reaper, hope everyone has a great and safe weekend. Let's go, Lions. Woo! I'll go with that, my friend. Kara, I'm not really sure what that one is, but I'll go with yes, and thanks for that. Waylon, these whispers, Broski is a disgruntled Aubrey Matthews. Could be true. Could be 100% true. Kara, happy birthday, coach! Exclamation point. Let's get a W as a gift. That would be great. They already gifted me one this month. Hey, well, hopefully you had a great birthday too. All right, guys, I'll go ahead and get out of here. Go ahead and get you guys over to the Boss Up, Ball Out podcast. If there is some sort of breaking news today, of course, I'll try to get it over to you as quick as possible. Otherwise, if you can, before you check out, hit the subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button. Be kind to each other. Do something nice for someone you don't know. Be a good human being, and we'll see you guys all in the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody. You're still here? What are you doing here? It's over. The show's over. Go home.